Hello, welcome to the Daily News Ukraine channel. Today is February 5th, and our daily review of news about Ukraine. The number of people injured in Russian missile attacks on Kharkiv this morning has risen to 5 people. According to the information of the Regional Center for Emergency Medical Assistance, the number of injured has increased to 4 people. Another injured person is a security guard of a higher educational institution targeted by the second missile attack. The man received assistance on the spot, Reznikov, head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration, posted on Telegram. As the press service of the National Police Main Department in Kharkiv region told an Ukrinform correspondent, the number of injured in the morning missile attacks on Kharkiv increased to 5 people. At the moment, there are already 5 injured. As a result of the shelling, a 51-year-old security guard of an educational institution, 2 residents of a 4-story building, 54-year-old women and a 58-year-old man, and an 83-year-old resident of a neighboring building were injured, the police said. One missile hit a residential building, and the other hit a higher educational institution. Photo: Kharkiv Regional Prosecutor's Office OL. The number of people injured in a Russian missile attack on the center of Kharkiv on Sunday, February 5, has increased to 4. Kharkiv Region Governor Reznikov said this in a post on the Telegram messaging app, Ukrinform reports. According to the Regional Center of Emergency Medical Aid, the number of those injured has increased to 4 people. Another wounded person is a security guard of a higher educational institution that was struck by a second missile, he wrote. Russian troops launched a missile attack on Kharkiv on the morning of February 5. Russian invaders fired 2 missiles at the city of Druzhkivka, Donetsk region, at around 4 o'clock on Sunday, February 5. The Druzhkivka City Military Administration said this on Telegram, Ukrinform reports. Script async src equals https://telegram.org/js/telegram widget.js 21 data telegram post equals Druzhkivka vinfo/13342 data width equals 100%/script. The missiles hit a densely populated residential neighborhood. The enemy again insidiously fired at civilians. Apartment blocks, apartments in the houses of city residents were damaged, a kindergarten building was partially destroyed. According to preliminary information, 5 residents of Druzhkivka were injured. They are receiving medical assistance. Utility services are eliminating the consequences of airstrikes, the report said. On February 2, Russian forces fired 2 missiles at Kramatorsk in the Donetsk region. At least 5 civilians were injured and a children's clinic and a school were damaged. Russian forces have made small advances over the last week in their efforts to encircle Bakhmut, Donetsk region, but Ukrainian forces retain control of most of the logistics routes for the city's defenders. The UK Ministry of Defence said this in its latest intelligence update published on Twitter, Ukrinform reports. British intelligence suggests that the M03 and the H32, the 2 main roads into the city for Ukrainian defenders, are likely now both threatened by direct fire, following the Russian advances. In addition, earlier in the week, Wagner paramilitary forces highly likely seized a subordinate route which links Bakhmut to the town of Siversk. While multiple alternative cross-country supply routes remain available to Ukrainian forces, Bakhmut is increasingly isolated, the report said. The Ukrainian Defense Forces need hundreds of thousands of unmanned aerial vehicles. That's according to Ukrainian Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov, Ukrinform reports with reference to the Telegram channel of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. The Minister of Defense met with more than 100 Ukrainian developers and manufacturers of UAVs. Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Digital Transformation Mikhailo Fedorov, Minister of Strategic Industries Pavlo Ryabakhin and a representative of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine took part in the meeting at Reznikov's invitation. Reznikov emphasized the importance of supporting the Ukrainian UAV market, particularly drones of a wide range of application, air, ground and water. This is about adjusting artillery fire, inflicting damage on the enemy, strike drones, the delivery of military equipment, evacuation of the wounded, etc. Currently, the needs of the Ukrainian defense forces are measured by hundreds of thousands of UAVs of various modifications. Work on closing these needs is underway. In particular, more UAVs were put into operation in the first 8 months of the full-scale war than in the last 5 years. I repeat, the independence of the military industry is one of the factors of the country's defense capability. And currently one of the key areas of the Ministry of Defense is the development and support of the Ukrainian UAV market, Reznikov said. The participants in the meeting discussed the need to create an association that would represent the interests of producers. The positions of both the producers and the minister coincided. A Russian missile struck a residential building in the center of Kharkiv on Sunday, February 5, with casualties recorded. According to Ukrinform, Kharkiv Mayor Ihor Terekhov said this in a post on Telegram. One of the missiles hit a residential building in the center of Kharkiv. Currently, we know about a fire in a residential building and one injured person, he wrote. Kharkiv Region Governor Ola Syniehubov said 3 people had been injured in the attack. Currently, 3 people are known to have been injured, a 54-year-old woman and 2 men, aged 51 and 55. The woman was hospitalized with shrapnel wounds, whereas the men were treated on the spot, he wrote. Early on February 5, Russian troops launched a missile attack on Kharkiv. Russian troops struck 16 settlements in the Zaporizhzhia region on Saturday, February 4. The Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration said this in a post on Telegram, Ukrinform reports. According to the main directorate of the National Police in the Zaporizhzhia region, the occupiers shelled civilian infrastructure outside the settlements of Huliapol, Chervon, Cherivn, Olhivsk, Poltavka, Orakhiv, Novodanilivka, Mala Tokmachka, Sherbaki, Malinivka, Novoandrivka, Bilohyrya, Zalizny, Kamiansk, Mali Sherbaki, Stepov, the Post said. The police received 5 reports about private houses, apartments, and infrastructure being damaged or destroyed by enemy shelling. In the past day, the enemy launched 127 attacks on the positions of Ukrainian defenders, using tanks and artillery along the entire line of contact. The evacuation of the civilian population from the temporarily occupied territories was not carried out. Russian forces struck settlements in the Kherson region more than 60 times on Saturday, February 4. The Kherson Regional Military Administration reported this on Telegram according to Ukrinform. The Russian occupiers attacked the settlements of the Kherson region 60 times, they fired artillery, MLRS, mortars, tanks, IFVs and ATGMs. The Russian army attacked Kherson city 6 times. Enemy shells damaged residential buildings. Yesterday, 1 person was killed in the Kherson region due to Russian shelling, and 1 more resident of the region was injured, the report reads. On February 3, the Kherson region was struck 47 times. 1 person was killed, 3 were wounded in the shelling. Photo, Kherson Regional Police. In the Donetsk region, Ukrainian border guards have shot down a Russian UAV that was adjusting the invaders' artillery fire on Ukrainian forces. The Ukrainian State Border Guard Service said this in a post on Facebook, Ukrinform reports. In the Donetsk region, the border guards recorded the flight of a hostile UAV over their stronghold. It carried out aerial reconnaissance and adjusted the invaders' artillery fire on our forces, the post said. The enemy drone was taken down with small arms fire. As was reported earlier, on February 4, Ukrainian forces repelled enemy attacks outside the settlements of Kremina and Shipalivka in the Luhansk region and Verkhnyo-Kamiansk, Blahodan, Krasna Ora, Pereskovivka, Bakhmut, Ivanivsk and Klishchivka in the Donetsk region. From February 24, 2022 to February 5, 2023, the armed forces of Ukraine eliminated about 131,290 Russian soldiers, including 700 in the past day alone. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said this in its latest update published on Facebook. Moreover, the Ukrainian defenders destroyed 3,220 enemy tanks, plus 2 over the past day, 6,405, plus 11, armored combat vehicles, 2,226, plus 6, artillery systems, 460 MLRS, 227, plus 2, air defense systems, 294 aircraft, 284 helicopters, 1,958, plus 2, tactical unmanned aerial vehicles, 796 cruise missiles, 18 ships/boats, 5,091, plus 10, vehicles and fuel trucks, and 203 pieces of special equipment. Today we were talking about those news. Number of injured in Russian missile attacks on Kharkiv rises to 5. Number of those injured in Russian missile attack on Kharkiv grows to 4. 5 injured in Russia's shelling of Druzhkivka in Donetsk region. Ukraine retains control of most logistics routes around Bakhmut. UK intelligence. Ukrainian army needs hundreds of thousands of drones. Reznikov. 3 injured in Russian missile attack on downtown Kharkiv. Enemy strikes 16 settlements in Zaporizhzhia region. Russian forces strike Kherson region 60 times on February 4. Russian drone shot down in Donetsk region. Russian military death toll in Ukraine climbs to 131,290.